When you know your why, every storm becomes a path, not a prison. Every one of us carries a quiet battle inside. The world may only see your smile, your achievements, or the way you carry yourself with confidence. But deep within, there are wounds life has carved into you, sometimes slowly, sometimes violently, and sometimes without mercy. There comes a point in every person's journey when life becomes heavier than usual. The dreams you once believed in suddenly feel far away. The direction you thought was clear becomes blurry. The path that once felt solid beneath your feet begins to crumble. And worst of all, the motivation you relied on seems to fade like the dying glow of an ember in the dark. People often think we fall because we are weak, but sometimes we fall because life demands that we stop walking blindly. And that is where the wound begins. It starts with questions that haunt your nights. Why am I doing this? Does any of this even matter? Why do I feel empty even when I try my best? These are not signs of failure. They are signs of a deeper truth calling you forward. Because when the external world collapses, the internal one begins to speak. But it speaks in whispers. You must be quiet enough, brave enough, and honest enough to hear it. Most people don't lose the battle because they lack strength. They lose because they lose their why. Your why is the emotional engine behind every decision, every sacrifice, every early morning, and every sleepless night. Without it, discipline becomes torture. Work becomes meaningless. Pain becomes unbearable. But with it, even suffering makes sense. You don't choose the obstacles. You don't choose the heartbreak. You don't choose the betrayal, the silence, the loneliness, or the confusion. But you do choose what these things mean to you. Life wounds you in ways you didn't want to ask for, but it is in these very wounds that your why begins to reveal itself. Pain does not speak the language of comfort. Pain speaks the language of awakening. It cracks your routines. It shatters your illusions. It forces you to confront the truth you've been avoiding. You don't discover your purpose in the easy moments. You discover it in the moments that break you. Your why is not found on sunny days. Your why is born in the storm. Motivation is like a flame. It's warm, it's bright, it's inspiring, but it burns out quickly. That's why so many people start strong and fade away. They rely on motivation, not meaning. Motivation says, I want to do this. But your why says, I must do this. Motivation is emotional. Your why is spiritual. Motivation depends on how you feel. Your why depends on who you are becoming. This is why people who have found their deepest why almost never quit. Their energy does not come from the outside world. It comes from a fire that lives inside of them, a fire no storm can extinguish. You may not believe it yet, but the wounds you carry are not random. They are not curses. They are invitations. They are pointing you toward the reason you are still here. If life is hurting you, it is because life is shaping you. If life is slowing you down, it is because life wants you to look inward. If life is testing you, it is because life knows there is more within you. Your why is hidden beneath the parts of you that have suffered the most. To find it, you must be willing to step into the pain, not to drown in it, but to pull meaning from it. At some point, something inside you snaps, not in a way that breaks you, but in a way that transforms you. You begin to realize that you are not fighting life. Life is fighting for you. The fire inside you starts as a spark born from the realization that your story is not over yet. And this spark becomes a flame when you understand this truth. Your why is bigger than your fear. Your why is bigger than your doubt. Your why is bigger than your pain. The moment you decide that your why matters more than your comfort, you unleash a version of yourself even you have never met. Every great transformation begins with a decision. I refuse to stay where I am. You rise not because the mountain becomes smaller. You rise because your heart becomes larger. You rise not because the storm disappears. You rise because you become the storm. You rise because your why pulls you upward like gravity in reverse. This is the fire that separates people who quit from people who overcome. This is the fire that gives ordinary people extraordinary lives. Sometimes your why is a person. Sometimes it's a dream. Sometimes it's the younger version of you who never got the chance to be heard. Sometimes it's the future version of you who refuses to die without being born. Your why is the voice inside that says, I'm still here. I still believe in you. Don't waste the pain that made you. Some people rise for their family. Some rise for their legacy. Some rise to break a cycle. Some rise to rebuild what was broken. Whatever it is, your why is not small. It is not weak. It is not accidental. It is the fire that keeps you standing when everything else falls apart. Most people underestimate the strength that lives inside them. They think their fear defines them. But your fear is only the part of you that knows your potential is enormous. Fear appears not when you are weak, but when you are standing at the doorway of your next evolution. Your why is what pushes you through that doorway. And when you step through, something extraordinary happens. You become unstoppable. Your why is not something you create. It is something you uncover. It has been with you since your first breath. It has been guiding you, even when you didn't realize it. It has been calling you through every failure, every heartbreak, every moment that felt impossible. Your why is the deepest truth about who you are meant to be. When you find it, everything changes. Your clarity returns. Your confidence rises. Your focus sharps. Your pain becomes purposeful. Suddenly, the things that used to drain you no longer control you. The things that once seemed overwhelming now feel conquerable. The world cannot stop a person who knows why they are moving. Finding your why does not make you immune to pain, but it makes you immune to defeat. When you know your why, setbacks become lessons, failures become fuel, rejection becomes redirection, pain becomes power. You don't stop falling, you stop surrendering. And that is the difference between those who dream and those who rise. The world belongs to those who know their why. Look at every great leader, every great artist, every great creator, every person who changed the world. They all had an undeniable why, a mission, a vision, a truth they could not ignore. People do not follow strength, they follow purpose. People do not follow perfection, they follow meaning. People do not follow success, they follow fire. And that fire is your why. Your why makes you unbreakable. There will still be days when you feel tired, days when you feel lost, days when the world feels too heavy. But your why will whisper to you, not yet. We're not done. Stand up, and you will. Because you did not come this far to break now. You did not survive the storm just to drown in the calm. You did not suffer this much just to quit before the breakthrough. You were built for more. Your why is proof. Purpose gives pain a direction. When you know your why, no force on earth can make you stop.